Guys, today's video dives into something I've been watching unfold all over TikTok, and honestly, it's wild. There's this loud, messy debate happening inside Asian TikTok, about cultural appropriation, identity politics, matcha, jade bracelets, HMAT, who belongs where, and who's too close to whiteness. And right now, right in the middle of all this chaos, Black Americans are just, chilling, unbothered, watching the drama unfold like it's a late night documentary with popcorn in the hand. Why? Because while some Asian creators are spiraling into full on, internal warfare, calling each other whitewashed, arguing about white spouses, debating who's allowed in an Asian grocery store, Black Americans are simply observing, not losing sleep, not panicking, not forming, think pieces every 5 minutes, just vibing. So today we are going to break down why Black Americans are so unbothered, how this drama exposes a deeper identity struggles within Asian communities, and what this says about online culture today.
Baby, if you're not on Asian TikTok, you need to get there quick. I mean, put on your shoes and run, ho. Because the girls are tussling. It is the whitewashed Asians versus the pro-black Asians. And it is getting juicy. One Asian put a post up about how she clutches her pearls when she see a white person walking H Mart. And the white Asians came out and said, don't do that. White people deserve to be in our mix too. And the pro-black Asians said, y'all need to shut the fuck up. Because what the fuck y'all talking about? Do y'all see what black people go through? And then another Asian said, y'all need to stop being so racist towards black folks because they not coming up and they not sticking up for us right now. And they are right.
I'm gonna say something that y'all aren't gonna like, but there is an expectation that Asian people will pander to white people. It's rooted in xenophobia and the model minority myth. And I'll even take it a step further. The Asian people who are making videos like, oh my gosh, this discourse is so stupid, like, do we not have anything better to talk about, blah, blah, blah. Y'all are also pandering to white people and you don't even realize it. Because let's be so honest here, if the original creator was not a Asian woman talking about an Asian grocery store, but a black person talking about a black beauty supply store or a black owned business, it would have not gotten the same amount of outrage it did. Now, before I get the comments, oh, why do you have to bring black people into this, whatever, I want to have like an actual nuanced discussion on critical race theory, like when it comes to this topic. And it's also because a lot of the white people that were so outraged by this discourse wouldn't have said shit if this was about a black creator, and I'm going to tell you why. If we look back at history, a lot of black American culture was born essentially because white people stripped black people of their ethnic culture, heritage, and roots. As a lot of us know, a lot of black Americans don't even know where their African ancestors are exactly from because their history was erased and destroyed through slavery. And a lot of black American culture was created in spite of white people and their perpetuation of racism. So
breaking news that is indeed breaking. This is for the black community, okay? The Asian community is fighting. They throwing hands, they tussling. Now I was on Threads and they told me, Godiva, it's a seat over there for you. But just bring some popcorn and wine and you gonna have a good time, okay? The Asian community is tussling. They holding theirs accountable and they calling out the colonialism. I said they calling out the white folks, the whitewash shit. Bet, say less, I'm on the way. They said, hold on. I said, what's going on? I said, I'm gonna bring the wine and the popcorn. They said, listen, because we know you got a loud mouth and you gonna let other people know. I was? Yes, I was. They said they can come, but come in, sit down, shut up, don't touch nothing, okay? Don't get too loud, don't get too active. Hold on now, okay? We stay out of black folk business. We need y'all to stay up out of our business. So you can be in our business, but mind your business. And I said, noted. Me and my crew, we just here to watch. We're just spectators. We're just in the background. So y'all, hop on over because it's going down in Asian business. I feel like they've been putting me in their business low-key all week long, but I mean, I'm always here for this conversation. We've been waiting on this one. So yeah, hop on over because the Asian Americans all over the globe, they fighting, they tussling, y'all. They holding each other accountable.
Now, y'all, I don't know how I got on Asian beef side of TikTok, but I see it goes down over there too, okay? One video that started it all. I don't know what video I watched 5 seconds too long, but I know one video tramping down to another video. Anyway, I saw one video when a guy was using a sound, and in his caption, he was basically he was targeting Asian. He is Asian himself, but he was targeting Asians who I guess want to be white and like going against their own group or whatever. And the sound that he used was basically talking about stuff. I can guarantee you, your soulmate is not. And then he had put down in his description, and he was like, sincerely, an Asian, all kinfolk ain't skin. So now I'm going down a rabbit hole, right? So on his video, his search bar says Soga, Saga, Sooga. And then 2 scrolls before that, it was somebody talking about that. So I'm like, what the hell going on here? So in his video, his comments is showing people like talking about that Soga, Saga, or whatever. So I'm going there and I'm like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. I was like, you know what? I ain't gonna say nothing, but I'm definitely gonna mind y'all business. Cause this is interesting.
I love that black people are getting in Asian mess because I have been in Asian mess since I was 18 years old, okay? Because I went to Baruch, which has a lot of Asian people. It's basically UCLA East, if you understand. That might be an Asian exclusive. I would say like 90% of my friends from college are some kind of Asian. East, South, Southeast, you know, fancy Asian, not fancy Asian, as they call it. And y'all, I be looking at black people like, you think we got diaspora wars? You wait till you be around enough Asian people. Like, to this day, the wildest niche Asian beef I have ever heard in my life is whatever the hell is going on with Fujianese people. Okay, it's like a province or like an ethnic group in China, and like I knew people who were Fujianese in college who were like, nah, don't spread that around. I was like, why? You don't want people to know you Fujianese? Like, I still don't understand. I still don't understand where that whole thing came from. But apparently, major sin. And like, if you've seen Miss Marvel, you may like begin to grasp the intricate details between India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. But baby, and then you get to India and it's like North versus South India in terms of like color and religion, and then it's the caste system. Baby, you meet you a Brahmin, like they be beefing with each other. I don't even know what be going on. I just be like, let me sit on the sideline. Like, I remember my friend, she was from I think she was Brahmin, and she was trying to date some dude that was from a lower caste. And baby, okay. Then there's the whole no BMW thing, where it's like no black, Muslim, and white. That's a whole other ball of shit. Then I had to learn the word hakwai, because in case I ever came against somebody who called me a hakwai, because that's basically like, I think it's the Cantonese N-word or some shit. And then whatever going on between the East Asians and Southeast Asians is a whole thing. Then you got everybody's beef with Japan. Like, yeah, I'll let you look up, you know, what the fuck. Japan got like a good PR team, okay? And then you got like Chinese people be beefing with the Koreans. And that's a whole, I'll let y'all explain that, because that right there is a doozy of some shit that I'm still trying to wrap my head around. But y'all think, I be looking at black people like, yeah, welcome, you know, to the Asian beefs and wars and, you know, the drama and the pick-me-goes. And then when y'all get to the part versus like the, you know, the West Coast Asians versus the East Coast Asians, and the different shades of blonde, yeah, that's some shit.
Now, let's be honest. Black Americans have seen, this type of cultural tension play out for generations. Identity policing, cultural appropriation arguments, community infighting. Yep, been there, done that, got the t-shirt, wore it out. So when black viewers stumble into Asian TikTok and see creators arguing about who's real Asian, who's too westernized, who's married to a white partner, or who's responsible for matcha, becoming expensive, none of it feels shocking. It actually feels familiar. Why? What is interesting is the contrast in reaction. While some Asians online express resentment toward black people, whether it's about cultural trends, political topics, or stereotypes, Black Americans simply aren't trying to jump into those battles. They are not making counter, campaigns, not crying into the comments, not demanding think peace debates. They are laughing at the chaos, analyzing the, contradictions and moving on. Why? Because Black Americans have learned something crucial. Every community has internal conflict, but not every conflict needs your emotional investment. Now, here's the part where we really need to unpack the heart of the issue. Why Black Americans remain unbothered? I know most of you are asking that question. Even when certain Asian groups online express negativity or resentment toward them. First, Black Americans understand core truth about social media. Most of this drama isn't about Black people at all. It's projection, it's identity, anxiety. It's two or three groups battling over proximity to whiteness, cultural authenticity, and community standards. Black people just become the convenient talking point, the easy punchline, or the symbolic, other to measure against. But the actual conflict that is happening within Asian communities, and Black Americans recognize that immediately. Second, Black Americans have, a long history of being targeted, stereotyped, and misrepresented. So when they see an online group express negative attitudes toward them, it doesn't spark shock. It sparks a shrug, because this is the same internet where Black culture is copied, remixed, monetized, and, mainstreamed by those same groups. Hair trends, slang, fashion, comedy, everyone takes it. Everyone uses it. Everyone profits from it. So when a few Asian creators try to insult or dismiss Black Americans, it feels, consistent, almost ironic, like someone enjoying soul food while complaining they don't like Black culture. Black Americans, they see the contradiction instantly, and because of that, they don't take the negativity seriously. Third, Black Americans are good at recognizing when a community is going through an internal identity crisis, and clearly, Asian, TikTok is, going through that. You've got people fighting about cultural purity, people fighting about grocery stores, people fighting about matcha, people fighting about interracial marriage, people fighting about, political loyalty, people fighting about, assimilation, people fighting about who gets to, to speak for who, and people fighting about whether white adjacency even exists. It's not one conversation, it's 10 conversations collapsing into each other. So when certain comments about, Black people get thrown into the mix, Black Americans don't mistake it as a focused attack. They see it for what it is: collateral frustration from a community wrestling with its own reflection. Fourth, and maybe most importantly, Black Americans have learned to stop giving free emotional labor to every online argument that mentions them. Over time, Black communities realized that reacting to everything drains energy, invites more conflict, and rarely changes outcomes. So instead of trying to correct or clap back at every anti-Black sentiment that pops online, many Black Americans focus their energy on their own community, their own culture, their own, progression. Meanwhile, Asian TikTok is full of meltdown mode. The debates are intense, emotional, and even sometimes downright vicious. And it's not outsiders causing the chaos. It's internal, factions calling each other names, accusing each other of, self-hate, arguing about who's too American, and, dissecting every micro interaction for signs of assimilation. Black Americans see this and think, this isn't by fight. And that is the maturity, that is the growth, that is the unbothered vibe. Lastly, a big part of the unbothered reaction comes from awareness. Black Americans know that, online drama isn't a full representation of many racial groups. They know better than anyone how dangerous it is when people take the loudest voices online and pretend they represent a whole culture. So they don't fall for it when a handful of angry commentators try to make sweeping statements. They understand nuance. They also know that offline, the majority of Black Asian interactions are peaceful, everyday, normal human relationships, schools, workplaces, friendships, neighborhoods, real life isn't echoing the extreme narratives online. So Black Americans don't panic when TikTok tries to convince everyone that the world is falling apart. They can separate online noise from, real dynamics. In summary, Black Americans remain unbothered because they understand perspective. They understand projection. They understand identity crisis. And they understand the, internet's tendency to exaggerate conflict. And most of all, they understand that not every conversation that mentions you actually needs you. Sometimes the best response is none at all. Just observation, just clarity, just peace. Yeah, that's it. Guys, let me know in the comments. What are your thoughts? Also, remember to subscribe, like, and share as well. And until next time, stay safe.